The Thunder has hit 10 straight wins. They're now 55-15. So look, they blew out the Brooklyn the other day. It's not saying too much blowing out Brooklyn, right? But still, it was like 121-92 last night to extend their streak to 10 and clinch a playoff spot. They're the first team in the league to punch their ticket. And they're doing all this without Jalen Williams, who's been out since February with a hamstring injury. So, Matthew, is there any real threat to the Thunder in the West when they do get Jalen back and they get healthy?
I mean, first of all, I don't think there's any guarantee that you get Jalen back fully healthy. So, I mean, he's played 26 games this year. That tells you that even if he comes back, there's definitely some risk of re-injury, and especially because he's going to have to come back in some like intense late April playoff setting. And it's how you remember when Westbrook was on Houston and he was tearing up the league, and then he injured his quad, then he came back in the bubble, and he was pretty bad because it's hard to reacquaint yourself to the game in the playoffs because defenses are locking in the playoffs. The coaches are scheming on certain people. Like it's a whole different animal from the regular season. So it's just hard to get your sea legs under you in the playoffs. But the other thing is, like, they could probably win, honestly, without him. I don't think that's that crazy of a thing to say. I mean, they've won like an ungodly amount of basketball games in a row. I don't have it right in front of me, but they've won like 9. I want to no, more than 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've won 10 in a row, and they've won 13.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said they extended the streak to 10, and that's how they clinched that playoff spot.
And they're not playing scrubs, Sean, like the Timberwolves, the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Knicks, the Nuggets again, the Cavaliers. So in that 13 and 14, I mean, they're playing some dogs in there. So do they even need Jalen Williams? But that's not the point, because whether they have him or don't have him, and I know we're going to talk about them, there's only going to be one threat to their title, and it ain't coming out the East, especially with the best team in the East struggling right now. No, it's coming out the West. It's coming right here in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Yeah, I was about to say, is there any team in the West that actually wants OKC in the second round? Or is the only real threat a healthy veteran team like Denver or the surging Spurs?
I think Denver is going to have a tough time because they really don't have a bench. And outside of maybe Hardaway Jr., I think everybody on that bench that was supposed to make up for the production when Westbrook and MPJ left, they were supposed to develop Jalen Pickett as a point guard, and he's been DNP coach's decision most of this year. Bruce Brown was supposed to be good for them because he was good for them in their championship run. And I swear, every time I log on to Nuggets Twitter, because I follow a lot of those Nuggets Twitter guys from when Westbrook was there. Yeah. They're always complaining about Bruce Brown. It sounds like the Bruce Brown reunion has not gone the way it was supposed to. I really think Russ and the Nuggets needed each other, but there were egos that kept them apart, because he definitely lost them some games with some boneheaded plays, but he won them a lot of games. And I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, they're guaranteed to have a worse record than last year. So I think having a dog like Russ on the bench was pretty helpful to them, but egos got in the way. They didn't want him back, and he didn't want to be where he wasn't wanted. So the Nuggets
Matthew, let me say this before you switch about Westbrook. Even though you said he lost him some games, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you what I really love about Russell, and I think people should teach this in sports basketball today, from AAU to the YMCAs or whatever you play, right? Every time people would yell at him when he blew an easy layup or shot a crazy looking air ball, right? That man, when he made that mistake, he would give you 150% back on defense and hustle to make up for that play.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an impossible motor. I mean, people don't even realize like how good his motor really is, and how at 37, at 37, still averaging 15, 7, and 6. I mean, guy's a dog, and the Nuggets bench is really struggling. But I think the issue there, and I've said it in previous shows, I don't think the new coach, he's a young coach, David Adelman, I don't think he wanted a lead dog kind of alpha in the locker room like Westbrook to challenge him. And Westbrook on his end wouldn't accept that some nights he was only going to play 15, 18 minutes. So I just think they couldn't meet in the middle. And it's a shame because I think they would have helped each other. And I think the Nuggets are really going to struggle this playoffs. I think they could win a series or two, but anything they win is going 6 or 7 games. And it's just because once you take Jokic out of the game, and especially if Jamal Murray's struggling, that point differential is going down, down, down. So,
Yeah.
I don't think the Thunder are worried too much about the Nuggets. I don't think they're worried about the Lakers. I certainly don't think they're worried about Houston. Minnesota, that's my dark horse. But, the OKC, of course, would be a favorite. But the Spurs were 3-1 against OKC in the regular season. And I think one of those games, OKC wasn't playing the starters. You call it what it is. You call it 2-1, whatever. But they had a winning record against OKC in the regular season. Now, sometimes with the young team that hasn't taken their licks yet in the playoffs, you expect them to lose one. Like the Nuggets, the Bucks, all them guys that ended up winning a championship. They lost a couple before they got there. But Wemby's a special talent. I don't think it's guaranteed that the Spurs have to lose one before they get there. And I know we're going to talk about that soon. But, I think the only team that can challenge them in the whole league is the San Antonio Spurs.
Right, with San Antonio. And look, Matthew, and being that they're the first team to clinch, while you're still kind of like patching the rotation, usually screams like they're a real contender, right? But the question is, do they have that one veteran gear for when May and June comes? And I know we're the defending champions and they won it before, but coming out of the West, you know how hard it is to repeat back-to-back wins like that. Do they have that one gear, that one veteran gear to help them for that May and June to close it out?
I mean, SGA, that's your guy. What you have is, he's a veteran in this league, but it don't matter. You have your lead dog. You have your guy, like in that Nuggets game the other day, tie ball game, 125, that's going to go make you that crazy three-pointer. Like you have your lead dog. So, you have the pieces around him. You have the good role players. You got a good big man in Chet. You got a good 6th man, 7th man in Caruso. You got a good co-star in Jalen Williams if he's playing. Like they have every piece that you want on a championship team. And you have this, that they've done it before. They've been there before. They've already won it. The first one's the hardest, as they say. And so, they've got that gear. And they've got that guy that when it's 95-95 and you need to stop like playing as a unit, and you need to have your one guy go get you that instant offense, you have that in SGA. And even if he doesn't get it, they're going to blow the whistle and give him the foul call anyway. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But I think you got that guy, you got your team. And I certainly think, even though I'm telling you that San Antonio has a chance, I certainly think that OKC's the favorite right now to win it